It's so sad to see that these people, they're really trying, man. They are trying, but they just don't have the skill to produce a good show, sadly. This show starts with Jey Uso being attacked by we don't know who, but coincidentally the Vision's there. Jey Uso's not gonna be in the fucking elimination chamber anymore because he's injured. That's a bit embarrassing, to be honest, to be Jey Uso. Be kind of a main event level guy and then find out that even though his victory wasn't planned, he is not somebody who the company sees as a person who's fit enough to be in the chamber, man. Here is my question. Jey Uso, from what I understand, is a Raw guy. Why the fuck was he on Smackdown to begin with? Maybe because they were about to do like a confrontation between all the members of the chamber, but they only did that with the guys, not with the women. The women in the chamber, some of them were there, but like they didn't have all 6 of them in the ring at the same time. That's only gonna happen tomorrow. Nick Aldis spots that the Vision is there, and he's like, oh, well, it's a bit of a coincidence that you guys are here too and all that. The Vision's like, well, it is what it is. We didn't do anything. Drew McIntyre comes out. He's like, it's funny, but Jey Uso's injury has nothing to do with him. Nobody, I think, was even suspecting him from the moment we saw the Vision. It was kind of obvious that it's them, right? Drew McIntyre comes to the ring and he's like saying a bunch of stuff, which kind of makes sense, quite frankly. He's not even allowed to be on the show that he's the champion of. It doesn't make any sense. He has to buy fucking tickets to be in the show. I don't know where he gets the microphone from if he's not allowed to technically be on the show. I don't care if he bought the most expensive seats or anything, but you know what I mean, right? Cody Rhodes interrupts and he comes out saying, enough! Enough! And it's fucking stupid, man. Like, I don't know. He's not very good at playing an angry person. He just can't do it for some reason. Anyway, everybody who's in the chamber, at least at the time, which is 5 people, they all come out. They take shots at each other, and it's just that it doesn't matter, quite frankly, but they will do that because that's kind of a staple. Then we have one of the most boring matches in the history of wrestling. Solo Sikoa versus Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy wins this match, and they're both just extremely big and extremely fat. I did not realize that Bo Dallas was so big. And when I say big, by the way, I don't mean big as a compliment, right? I mean big as in fat. Howdy wins. The MFT fucking interrupts. So Howdy fucking goes and picks up the lantern and the MFT interrupts and they fucking beat the living crap out of Howdy. So this feud's still gonna continue. They just don't have anything else, right? If they end this feud, what are they gonna do with the Wyatt family? And what are they gonna do with Solo Sikoa and his fucking nonsensical faction? There is nothing else, so they're gonna keep wasting their time with this bullshit. After that, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Kairi Sane. This match happens. There was a spot in this match where Tiffany rolls out of the ring and she's arguing with Chelsea Green, right? During this argument, she's constantly looking sideways. It's a bit odd. As a viewer, I don't fucking know what's about to happen next, but it's still just a bit odd. So, a few moments later, Kairi Sane dives onto these guys. Tiffany fucking goes away, right? And Kairi just lands on Chelsea Green. And this was a spot that they planned, obviously. But if you look at the spot and the way Tiffany was constantly looking sideways, from the very beginning of a so-called argument with Chelsea, it was very obvious that this is what they had planned and it shouldn't look like that. Tiffany wins with a finisher. It's just a typical thing. You know, Kairi Sane is not going over Tiffany Stratton. So that's just what happened. Tiffany wins the match. She's going to be in the chamber tomorrow. I don't see her winning, quite frankly, because we've already seen Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. But you never fucking know, do you now? After that, we have Obafemi versus The Miz. I have no fucking idea why they're treating The Miz like that. They keep mentioning the fact that he's a former WrestleMania main eventer. He has history with a guy like John Cena and all that. They mention that every single time. And after that, you have the new guy squash this guy. I really don't understand what the fuck they're trying to do here, man. It's just so fucking weird to me. The Miz is basically a comedy jobber at this point. He says a bunch of things in this promo as well. He brings out a mic and he says to Oba how to not be a flash in the pan and have some longevity in this business. And man, I think the Miz is making sense because say what you want, the guy has been around here for like 2 decades And if not for Triple H, the bad booker, or whoever the fuck is making these decisions, I think he can still go, right? He can still at least be in the mid card. I don't see why Johnny Gargano needs to be a fucking US title contender, but not The Miz. Speaking of the US title, we have the US title open challenge. Carmelo Hayes versus Matt Cardona. It's just fucking embarrassing, man. Like, Matt Cardona? What the fuck is this shit? He's supposed to be Zack Ryder, man. I don't care what his real name is. I don't care what his name was in the indies. This is WWE, and in this universe, in this world, his name is Zack Ryder. Unless he has a good reason to explain why he changed his name, it doesn't make any sense. Like, Bradshaw became JBL. There was a reason for that, right? And his name JBL was basically John Bradshaw Layfield. So, there is some sense there. Bobby Roode becomes Robert Roode. Bit silly, but it's basically the same name. There is some sense there. Zack Ryder becomes Matt Cardona without any fucking explanation. Now imagine this, right? If this was Zack Ryder who answers the open challenge, and let's say he wins the title, man. Now, if you have been watching wrestling for quite some time, you would remember he was the US champion back in the day, and he was pretty over at the time, but his title reign wasn't that long. How nice would it be to see Zack Ryder, not Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder win the US title and have like a proper reign? That would be a bit refreshing, something that nobody saw coming, but I don't think anybody would have minded that. But instead, we're gonna see Carmelo Hayes defend against people like Johnny Gargano and Ilya Dragunov and other jabrones of this nature. Speaking of Johnny Gargano though, he's in the next segment. Candice LeRae versus Jordynne Grace. Johnny Gargano is acting like he's depressed, he's not doing a good job, it's not funny. He's trying and I feel bad for him, but it's just not funny. Because if the distraction, Jordynne Grace wins against Candice LeRae. Like we're supposed to act like Candice LeRae, who has not won a singles match in her entire career, lost this one because she got distracted by her husband. It's just boring stuff. All three of these guys, they're just boring. After that, we have an argument between Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu. Sami Zayn says that, oh man, this opportunity should have been mine, and Jacob Fatu is like, brother, how many more opportunities do you need? Get the fuck out of here. And then Sami Zayn loses his mind. Man, he needs to fucking be a proper heel, right? Like, I think maybe he can try being a heel. And for the love of God, shave off that beard. And even the hair, man. Like, just look a bit young. Sami Zayn throws a tantrum. He's like, oh man, I'm not in the fucking best headspace in my life and stuff like that. No one cares. Nobody gives a fuck. This guy, I hope he never becomes the world champion. After that, we have Rio versus the Irresistible Forces. So this is a tag team title match. Nia Jax and Lash Legend win this match, which is an indicator of the fact that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, they're probably gonna be involved in some other way at WrestleMania, which is very obvious. They're not going to fight for the tag titles at WrestleMania, so I don't see any of them winning the Chamber. I don't know if Io Sky is in the Chamber or not. She probably is, but yeah, she's not gonna win the Chamber. Rhea Ripley is probably not gonna win the Chamber either. What we can potentially see is maybe one of them turning or the other, and then they have a WrestleMania match that no one gives a fuck about. During this entire show though, at some point, they decided for a match which was Jacob Fatu versus Logan Paul. The winner goes to the Chamber tomorrow. And I will say this, I will give some props here, right? This is an interesting matchup. Both these guys have some sort of story going on. It would be interesting to see who wins this match. This is a rare combination of wrestlers, right? Like, both have been pushed in their own way, and you don't know who's gonna take the loss here. If you look at Logan Paul, he's just better at everything than Jacob Fatu, quite frankly. He's literally better at everything, man. Now, some people are gonna say, oh man, Jacob Fatu is scarier looking. Answer this question for me. Who would you prefer to face in real life? Jacob Fatu or Logan Paul? In a real fucking fight. Tell me that. If you're not mental, you would say Jacob Fatu. But that aside, during this match, the masked man comes in. Logan Paul is able to catch him. He takes off his mask and it's some random jabron. I don't understand what they were trying to go for here. I thought it was Ricky Saints or something for a second, but it's not him. This is classic Triple H storytelling. You build up to something, you keep building up, and then there is no payoff. This is just that. From my understanding, it's probably not the real masked man. There's gonna be a real one. Like, how do you really know how many masked men there are in this case, right? Like, this is a guy who nobody fucking knows of, and they don't even beat the guy or anything. They're like, who are you? And then the security fucking escorts him out of the building. That's it. There is nothing that the Vision does to this guy. Anyway, Logan Paul goes back in the ring. Drew McIntyre interferes. Logan Paul wins with a roll-up. That's it. So Logan Paul's gonna be in the chamber. He's gonna replace Bronson Reed. And I'm imagining there gonna be some shenanigans involved here. Maybe Seth Rollins is gonna come back or whatever the fuck, I don't know. But something's gonna happen. Otherwise, I don't think they would have replaced Bronson Reed with just another member of the Vision. By the way, if not for Logan Paul, this would have been Austin Theory. So just think about that. Logan Paul, in my opinion, is better than Jacob Fatu, as I just said. So I'm glad he won. Jacob Fatu is maybe a mid-card. Maybe. People have been gaslit into believing that this guy's worth anything. He's not. He has the fat ass. He looks weird. I don't see the hype, man. So overall in this show, I think they could have done a lot better, man. But I think that in their mind they were trying. So that's just that. Tomorrow is the Chamber. I don't have any high expectations, but I'm still gonna watch it. I don't mind watching it because there is nothing I'm doing tomorrow.